Alright, folks, just getting set up here. Getting spun up. We'll see if things behave. There we go. It's time to start. So let me check, make sure my audio levels are okay. Everything looks good. Okay, yep. So I can see the audio. Right on. Bounce that back. Just tweet out real quick. Machine's already slowing down. I just bought a capture card on Amazon, so it'll be here Saturday, and I'm gonna put together a little PC to play around with and see if I can get going with some a second machine, so that I don't have to have OBS, which is the software that runs the stream, on this computer, which is bogging it down. Oh, you know what? Right now, that's Sprite. There may be some whiskey involved here before long, but right now it's just Sprite. All right, let me just check and make sure that the stream is actually running and live. Where's Safari? There it is. Actually, you know what I should do? Here, we're gonna do the first coding thing right now. Woodshed, Launchpad, HTML. So this is my little Launchpad thing here. Oh, actually, I need to take this off for 1 second. No, I'm not gonna show you that. If there's a, never mind. There's a number here that I don't want to show, even though it's probably already been seen a bunch of times, for my Amazon account number, which lots of people cover up. I don't really know why, but because I do, I'm going to. It may be like cargo culting that, but whatever. But actually what I can do, let me do this off screen for 1 second. I'm just gonna move that link off the page, I think. Oops. Let's go on Twitch. I didn't mean to go to Twitch. See if that works. Apparently I didn't save it. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, so right now I've got this set up to go to my live dashboard, but we're going to actually update this real quick to go to just the main page to make it easier for me to get to. Did I actually tweet that thing out? Oh, yeah, I did, because that was in there. I already had it. Yep, machine's already going slow. So, yeah, it says live. I should see me here from 10 seconds ago. Maybe. Come on, you can do it. I hear the fan spinning up, which isn't super great, but maybe that'll slow down as I get away from this. Okay, good, we're live. There we go. So get that out of there. Whatever, I did that. So I've got these, this link on, when I start a new tab in Safari. Let's see if we can keep this here and alive so it doesn't keep blowing out. So that's, we're missing the tail end of that. Let's move that there. Yeah, so I've got a bigger monitor, and I'm just scrolling into just a middle part there to keep stuff going. So it actually works out good. It's like a little dashboard, because I've got like the chat window over here and, well, desktop icons over there, but those don't matter. Anyways, this is my little Launchpad. So I just throw links up there, and the Jeopardy is the Jeopardy theme song. So whenever we're in a meeting and somebody's looking something up or taking time for something, I play that as a joke, and it works really well lots of times. I highly recommend it. So yeah, this is just quick links to all the various AWS stuff. Work stuff clicks over to my work stuff. I used to keep my work stuff on this main page, but now that I've started Twitch casting, I want that off on another page that I can get to and still have the work stuff, but not to show up. And again, it doesn't super matter. It's just separation of church and state kind of thing. The I'll talk about the MFA token updater at some point. That's I've got several different Amazon accounts for work and for sandboxes and for personal stuff. I've got them all locked down with multi-factor authentication, and so that basically is just a tool that lets me very easily jump between. So from a command line, you got to go through a few different steps to have multi-factor authentication versus if you're just logging in through the web console, would just ask you for a number. You got to do a couple steps, and so that this link is a little tool that I built that goes through all those steps. Whoops. So you can create a new profile in there, and then you can bang through and switch it to any of the stuff. Here's all the stuff that it does. So anyways, there's that. And then, but what I want to do, so this link goes to my Twitch dashboard, which is just a generic dashboard. But what I want to do is add a link for my page, just so I can make it easier for me to get there. So here's the Twitch dashboard, and all I'm going to do is add another link. Main, I guess. And then up here we're going to do dashboard. I'll just make it a little simpler for me to get to that. Oops, I don't need to exit out of that yet. So now if I close this, oh, interesting. I've got it thrown over to the left there. Oh yeah, you can kind of see the fonts perfectly there. That's cool. Theater mode. Yeah, you can tell what's going on. Ooh, now it's getting all crazy. We're going into the matrix. So, yep, okay, that bounced down, then that bounced down, then that, yeah. So this is gonna, every few seconds it'll go in. It's a really great video. Let's do it again. Where people did use the video delay to make a show or make a video where it was going through the video delay, and then you'd hear 5 seconds later you'd hear the next thing or whatever. It's really cool. We'll find that maybe at some point. Yeah, so now I've got my dashboard, now I've got the main. So that's how I can just really quickly go check it out, see what's happening, and make sure it's live, which we've already done. So we will back off of that, boom, because I want to keep that up. The fans really get going. Anyways, back to the Hub initiative. So last time, oh, don't do that. I use hotkeys, or I use an app called Alfred to do, yes. I don't even remember where I was going, as a quick launcher, so you can kind of see it here. So if I do SA, that's for Safari. If I do it's in VAlt, which should be open. I don't even know what I was going to open there a second ago. Maybe it was Safari. Oh, is it going to keep my Twitch Live dashboard chat up? We'll see. Oh, let's go to Oxygen. So working on the Hub initiative. Let me take that actually over there. That way we'll just barely see it. And we made a couple, we started making a JSON schema, and actually what I'm going to do now is, oh, I forgot to move the window so you can see the menu stuff that I do. Sorry about that. We'll do that next time. Yeah, I don't want to mess with that right now. We are going to make a new project. Oh, that's a new file. How do I make a new project? New project. Just put this at the top level of the Hub initiative. Actually, what do we want to do? JSON schemas. No, let's actually put it here. JSON, you can't see that. JSON schemas project. And we just do XPR. Project. I obviously go back and forth on that. So there we go. Now we got this, and now what I can do is add folders. And I'm gonna add the JSON schemas. And so now we can get in here and get to them easily. So here's the schema that we started working on yesterday, or whenever the last time we did this is. And then here's the test output, the example output. So the other thing that I was doing is I want to figure out a way to do tests on this. And actually, I wonder if I've got an example. Hang on a second. I need to back this off for 1 second. So I've got some work stuff that should all be fine to show. I just want to scan it first. XML schemas, validators. That's Ruby. Samples. JSON schemas, builders, Scratchpad. I did all this other stuff in Ruby. All right, so we're gonna have to figure it out in Python because I want to do Python. Man, I did a bunch of work in Ruby. So this is our validator. Py basic test. So now what I'm gonna do is verify this is all cool. Where is my directory structure, config and test? Where is... So something that I like doing... And I do stuff off classes most of the time, and now I'm thinking maybe I want to do functions. But yeah, so what we've got is I want to run tests across these. And this is another one, folks, where it's like I'm bouncing around at the start of something, so it's going to be tricky, or it's going to be rough. Because I don't think I've done this yet with JSON, with Python running the testing stuff. I've done it with Ruby, but not with Python. And so I'm going to work in this in CodeRunner here for a minute, which is outside of my main project. I'll get it running in CodeRunner, which gives me a sample in CodeRunner, and then from there I'll copy it over and actually move it into the actual repository of the Hub initiative here. So I've got it there. But I do stuff in this CodeRunner kind of first a lot of times, and then sometimes I even just leave it there because it's fine. But I want this, like, I keep all of these files in this one place, and so I know I can always go look there for stuff. So it's kind of there's my Grimoire, which is in Vialt, which is all my tech stuff, and then there's CodeRunner is another aspect of that where, I keep code samples. And so one of the things, actually, I hope Brett Terpstra and the folks he's working with on the new NVAlt do is like have code execution thing. That would be awesome. CodeRunner's fantastic though. It's one of my favorites. I spend a lot of time in it. So now what we're gonna do is figure out how to do a test. And so I've got something. We're gonna test from the main file. Nope. Single file with main and test. Yeah, so let me look through this for a second. Unit tests. Okay, that's widget test. Yep. So something that I like is keeping for this type of stuff, I like having my validator and the actual test run in the same file. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. Actually, I'm gonna do this. So I'm just gonna copy some of this stuff, but you're not gonna see where I'm copying it from because the monitor's not that big. let's do this. Import unit test. I got the rest of that stuff later. Class. JSON validator. Supposed to have a thing there? I don't know if it matters. I'm gonna pass that for now. We're gonna just zap all this for a minute, just because I want to get basic tests running. Class JSON validator test. Just give a unit test case. And again, I don't know all this off the top of my head. I'm just reading from notes that I've got over here on the left. Setup self. We don't actually need this right now. I'm just gonna put it in anyways, because I almost certainly will in a minute. Teardown's fine. Here's our test basic truth self. So this is what I do just to make sure that the test framework's working and that it actually fails properly. Migration test helpers, leave files in folder. I've got some other helper stuff over here that we may end up using, but probably not. Excuse me. And then this is where we get into the methodology for doing this. I need to post this at some time. So again, this is all stuff I've done before and have notes on. So I'm just reusing it. Port OS path. Import sys from IO import string IO. And what that's going to let us do is down here, get all this stuff lined up. How do we run this right now? Anything? Test case. I'm going to want this there. So if name equals main, whoops, which is the standard way you run this, but now what we're going to do is run tests. This could be capture stream, string IO. I don't totally get what all this stuff does. I mean, I kind of do. Yeah, I mean, I get it, but you can actually walk through the docs and get an idea about all this stuff. For module. Sys modules name. I think that works. Yeah, so name is the name of this file. And so it's calling the modules inside this file, and it's loading that set of test modules into the test loader, which is from unit test, and that makes the test suite. So as I understand that, it goes to this file, which is itself, and then it loads this as into the test suite by moving all the way through that. And then results, unit test, text test runner, stream, which is what we pass to it, is capture stream, which we got up here. Fail fast equals true, because if we kill a test, I want it to stop fast instead of finishing this whole suite. And we run the suite, which is up here. And then, if the length of results failures, there's gonna be so many errors in this. Or, actually, let me just see what happens if I run this right now. Oh, we'll do a syntax check, but nothing really is gonna happen. Wow, that takes a long time. because I made this, so, but we can do two things. Print here, because we want to make sure that this really is getting called, and then we can do run tests. And we'll see what that does. We should see here, and then hopefully nothing else happens. Good, okay. So all this stuff apparently hasn't broken yet. If length results failures, or length of results errors. So basically what this is saying is when we capture the results, which we're going to spell right here, print capture stream get value. This exit because we want to get out of it. Otherwise, capture stream. Oh, well. Oh, yeah. So sometimes what I do in this else is I'll actually run a main script. So I'll have the test pass, and then once the test pass, I actually run the script. It's one of the ways that I like doing it because it's basically it runs a test suite on a script every time before it runs a script, and I find that nice in lots of scripts that I write. So that's how you do that. And the way you would do that, just because we're here, is run main print I am, well, and actually oh, this is interesting. Yeah, I don't need that. Because yeah, so I actually don't need that. Never mind. Anyways, def, we'll just show you how that happens. Init self print. Whoops. Woohoo. So what you do down here is I think that's it. And again, I'm still getting used to the Python. Oh, failures. Oh yeah. So the test suite failed as expected because that's not equal to that. But if we do this, maybe it's gonna go ran. Okay, oops, I didn't call. So from here, run main, and now we should see our woohoo. Woohoo. Cool, so I actually didn't need to do all that. Because really the only thing we really need is the test suite. So I'm gonna get rid of all that. Get rid of that. This is not really the best way to do this. I should have done it differently, and just written a test suite. But I'm here, so we're gonna let it go. Cool. Now we got to figure out how to run a test. Test basic pass self. Yeah, so the main thing will be the test pass through here. Fully filled out JSON text. Snippet. So again, we've got this JSON, and then more importantly, or the thing we're working on is this schema, and so we want to make sure that this JSON is in compliance with this schema. So we'll add stuff to it and make sure it works. So one test is going to be, and the most simple test is just going to be, does this version of the JSON validate with the schema? That's the most straightforward one. Then the other one is going to be, we want to validate that if we do things incorrectly, that it does give us an error. And so that can be things like we want to make sure that and we'll have to figure out how many of these that we want to do. I'll probably end up doing a decent number of them. But we want to do things like, hey, if this string of the text has 0 characters, make sure that it really does fail. And that the processor or the validator or the schema-ator, I don't know, throws it out because it's invalid. Because sometimes, especially like the regular expression stuff, I might have that a little bit wrong, and I might let something through that shouldn't go through. So I kind of want to make a very robust test suite here, because this is going to be like this thing hopefully is going to go global. So I want to make sure that as much as possible we've hit all the exceptions that I can think of to make sure that they really do. Ooh, fireworks! It's 4th of July. I was about to go get the fan anyways, and then the fireworks went off. So if that wasn't, it spooked me, but that wasn't why I got up. So anyways, that's where I'm headed with all the tests. So now we got to get a test running, the JSON test running, because we got a basic truth test running just to test the test suite, and hooray, it works. So now I'm actually just going to put in, well, so with OpenJSON validate. So we can actually just grab most of this, which I really did that funnily. Let's do this, and let's do that, and let's do that. And this is all okay for right now. So what we should see is a none show up in here. Yeah, so that none is because the schema is validating right now. And we'll prove that by taking out a character. Yep, so boom, that didn't work. I mean, that failed properly. There we go, save. Should be back to green. Cool. So now, yeah, okay, this is cool. Schema path, is there a better way to do that? Maybe, but I don't know it. Self assert none, is that a thing? I could look it up, but I'm just gonna try it and see what happens. Does not appear to be a thing. Assert none. Let's go see what our options are here. I bet false would work. Unit test, assert none. Yep, okay, false worked. But that's not, it's not actually, like there are other ways that could throw false. So what I'm gonna do, equal, I should be able to do this, right? None. Yeah, so I'm grabbing the results of this, which should be none if it passes, which is a little bit backwards in my head, and then compare it to none. So that ran, and now again, just to make sure it breaks properly, we'll kill something here. Here, let's do, whoops, let's do this one this time, whatever. And now we should get a failure. There you go. Oh, this is great. So it gives me a failure, and then it also gives me the traceback, or the whatever I guess you call it, a traceback, showing me where the actual validation happened, so it can point me to the right place. Cool. Okay, so that's our basic test. That was easier to set up than I thought, mainly because I had old code, and also I didn't do it well. I could totally have done it a completely different way, but whatever. This works, so we're gonna leave it. Clean up a little bit though. So now what we're gonna do though is we're gonna make what place do we want to do that in? So we're gonna go here, we're gonna go on the desktop, we're gonna go to hub, initiative. Oh, I don't think I committed anything yesterday. I didn't. Git add JSON schemas. I almost did A, which adds everything, which is how I often do it, because I mush those two commands together, which is not as good as that's not the best way to do it, because you can easily accidentally commit a whole bunch of stuff that you didn't mean to, which I've done before. Add basic JSON text example and schema. HEMA, there you go. Whoops. And now I've got that there, but that's fine for a minute. So let's bring this to Sublime Text, just because it'll be a little easier to do this here. And so what do we want to do with this? Well, actually, I'm just going to copy all that stuff. We're going to save this. Validators. JSON schema. Validator.py. That may be the only validator we have, but I just like having stuff categorized in there. Ooh, look at Sublime Text. It's all colorful there. Have I looked at Python and Sublime Text with these color settings? I'm sure I have, but it's pretty. So the other thing that I want to try and do Watchdog. How do I watch a file for changes? So what would be ideal here is just whenever I hit save to automatically have the test suite run for me without having to go explicitly trigger it. That's on 132. Mac. Looks like Watchdog Pi is the other thing. I want it, so I like seeing if there's like native Python stuff that can do it. Ooh, watch God. Ooh. Watch file system in real time on OS X. And some of this stuff is I just like kicking around and seeing what the options are. My guess is that Watchdog one is going to be the one we end up using. Yep, Watchdog. Oh yeah, I've actually used folder actions before. It comes with watch me do command line tool, which allows you to run shell commands on special events. All right, let's play with it. Oh, I need to do this too. So we've got that virtual environment set up. Oops. It's right there, right? Oh, it's in JSON schemas. Ah, I should raise that. I want the Python environment for the entire thing. So I'm going to get rid of this one. Go up directory. Python 3 module venv do venv, right? I think that's it. There we go. Let me do this because I've got. This is where I go back to my notes. First thing to do, Python venv. This actually should be pip. Well, actually, if you do pip install, So yeah, source and bin activate. Which Python, which should point to that Python inside the same directory, or inside the virtual environment directory, cool. Which pip should also do that. Pip version, I wonder what that is. Oh yeah. Pip install, upgrade pip. Oh, it wasn't actually that far off, 1903 to 1911. That's cool. Is that a thing? Version satisfied around pip 3. Okay, whatever. Actually, what does this do? Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, pip 3 and pip are all mapped together. Oh, actually, which pip 3? Is this all going to point to the same thing? I want to see pip 3 and pip actually are different executables. Okay, weird. Who knows? I thought those might have been symlinked so that they were all the same, or linked so they're all the same thing. What was I doing? Oh yeah, so I'm in the thing. Crap, I don't remember what we really Watchdog, but oh, JSON schema. I should have saved out the requirements file before I did that, which we'll do in a second. Python JSON validator. JSON schema. Pip install JSON schema. Boop, 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 boop. Pip install, was it Watchdog? Watchdog. Again, there is a way to do this with folder actions. I'm actually not sure, and at some point I'll test them and see which one works better or faster, because like sometimes the folder stuff seems like it took a little while. And of course there is something you could do that's actually just like put a script over and just watch it and have it ping the file every like 1/10 of a second or something, which may be something we do at some point as well. Cool. So now I'm going to do this the right way, which is pip freeze requirements. We're going to pipe that, or we're going to point that to, so let's see if this works. Pip freeze should just give me some text output of all the modules that I'm using. I think they're called modules in Python. And then if I point the arrow to it, you won't see the output. But if we cat, which is to look at the requirements file, we'll see all that same output. So now that stuff is actually just in the output, or so. We'll look at it in Vim. Ta-da! There it is. So we got that. How do we use Watchdog now? The other thing I want to do is in git ignore, I want to ignore, I used to have a set of git ignore stuff. I feel like I'm missing a file here. I used to have a file that gave me a set of git ignore things to do. But I certainly am not seeing it. Oh, there it is. This is all the junk that, did I add stuff? If homebrew, from homebrew. Yeah, whatever. All right. Whoops. Get up there. How do you get up there? I forgot. There you go. I actually accidentally added a Y. Is that the form it's supposed to be? Dash. Okay, yep, that's all it gets. So now we're gonna do get add, get ignore, get GS is get status. Yeah, get commit message, add top level, get ignore. Yeah, so that takes the, basically I don't want to save this virtual environment. I just want to be able to recreate the virtual environment with this requirements file. That way stuff doesn't get all messy on there. Because if you, some of the paths in there are basically hard coded. So if you move the directory or if you copy the repository to some other place, stuff breaks. So that's why we want to do that. Now, yeah, and so this again, folks, is just getting, basically is just getting set up. Like, it doesn't feel like it's moving much at all, but like it is, because you got to get all the stuff wired. But once it's wired, then you can go through and actually like very quickly make progress on things. So that's what this is all about, is getting set up to be able to move quickly as we go forward. So let's figure out how to work Watchdog. Go to its actual thing. With my very slow computer at the moment. Just add the bookmark for that. Whoops, actually do this. Watch me do the log. So Watchdog calls watch me do the shell prompt to know more about this tool. Here's how you can log the current directory recursively for events. You can use shell command to execute commands in response to events. All right, so watch me do, me do, help, just make sure it's there. Yeah, okay, cool. Tricks, journal YAML, okay, cool. Oops. Watch me do, oops, shell command, pattern, let me get into the right directory. Watch me do shell command. So these slashes are for new lines. I'm assuming I can just do everything up here and it should be fine. Patterns equals star.json. Recursive doesn't actually matter there. Command echo watch source path. Interesting. All right, so now if we go to Oxygen, oh, sorry, I was writing some of that off the screen. If we save this, boom. Boom. Okay, cool. So now what we can do, okay, this is really cool. Oh, yeah, I might have some whiskey in a minute. Now what we can do is Control C this. So to go up a directory, so I'm in my Hubinit directory. I'm going to go into validators. I'm going to change... I actually don't know what mod means. Change mode? Yeah, name abbreviation of change mode. Okay. I realized I didn't actually know what that meant. Been doing this for 20 years. Never actually knew. Or never thought to ask. It was just always chmod. Or however you say it. Excuse me, folks. So what I want to do is make this user executable for that, so that now what I can do is just run the file. Oh, it's got errors. Oh, this is actually perfect. Okay. So I wonder if I can do, watch me do from here. Shell command patterns equals JSON schemas /star.json command equals echo here for now. I just need to send me something. Is this still gonna work? Nope. Missed something. Well, okay, we'll just go into the... I'm actually surprised that didn't work. Now it should work. We should see something, right? There we go. Okay. I'll try that again. Watch me do recursive command. Watch me do tricks. Oh, I guess recursive would have to go. Oh, you could just do it recursively, as long as there's not other JSON files. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We can do that. Whatever, it's fine either way. I was just trying to figure out where to run it from to make it easier to get to the script. But this is just fine. So command is gonna be // to get up directory. Validators, we're gonna do this. Desktop. Hub. Validators. Okay, nothing freaked out. Hopefully this works. Aha! Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So now, well, the tricky part's going to be letting y'all see it. Actually, no, we can make this happen, I think. That's going to be weird to look at. Where do I want to have that? Oh, I can just do this. It's gonna work. So failed pattern with a string, whatever, it did not match. We took out one from here, right? So now if we save it, okay, look at that. That's what we're looking for. So this okay here is perfect. This is nice. And the other thing that we can do is take this, user bin bash. I'm just gonna make this a script that hopefully I'm gonna change the mode again on it for user plus execute for validation watcher. And now hopefully if I'm here and I do this, bad interpreter. Was it bin bash? Yeah, bin bash. Bin bash, but bin bash. Oh, you know what? So the other one that I'm going to do at some point, I normally don't sit straight up quite as much as this. I guess I can unlock that thing in a little bit. I don't know how to use this new chair. I will. I'll do it later. I'm just feeling it in my shoulders a little bit right now. But I need to have a little bit of music going. Let's see. Let's look at this playlist and see what happens. Paranoid Times by Alex Lilly. There you go. Where's that? Vim. Oh, the validator. Now, validator, run. I think it's running. If we do that, and we save that, it should give a failure. Oh, look at that, fail 1 errors. And then save this. Oops. Boom, okay. Ah, see, look at that. So all I gotta do is save the file, and it'll, and it should work here too, right? So if we make this exactly 7 characters, this will fail us. Boom, failed. Go back to 8. One thing I would like to see here is something change, like a timestamp or something. But first we're going to commit this. Oh, yeah, change the example, right? Whoops. Whatever. Oh, what? Whatever. Yeah, I goofed it on the first one. There you go. So in the validators, print capture live stream. It's also printing an extra character, but that's fine. So what I want to do, I'm just going to do Python date and time up here. Yeah, so I just want to see something. So there's that failure thing down there. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. Import GM time, strf time. Print, whatever. Run, what am I doing? Run at time equals stringify time. I'm just going to copy that. Put too many quotes in there. And then we're just going to print run at time. We're going to, whoops, copy that line, put that there, get rid of that. And with luck, whoops, you can't see that. So I'm just back in the JSON directory. Hopefully validators works again. Go back to oxygen. You're not oxygen. You're oxygen. And we make this go to a 7. We'll see a failure. Yeah, cool, fail. And then I wanted to see something change here. So there's this timestamp, and that just lets me know what's going on. Or just verify that there's a change, even though it doesn't change much. I should just make it like a hash string or something. Again, I'm just looking for visual cues. So Python hash string. I don't think I've got that in my thing. Oh, there you go. Hashlib. That is for a file, though. Hashing strings in Python. Sometimes I like going to things like Python Central. Sometimes I like go and look at the documentation. Kind of depends. Okay, there you go. So quit that. Oops, Control C that. Sorry, got that backwards. Go back to validators. Open the JSON validator. Hij import hashlib. Right. And we're gonna go all the way to bottom. Whatever. Hash object. Hashlib. MD5, which is not actually what you should use. SHA-256, right? MD5 is kind of broken. Binary. Let's just do this. Run that time. So basically, I'm just going to pass the date into this hash thing. And then, oops, print hash object hex digest. Copy that, paste it down here. Save, get out of this. JSON schemas, validator. All right. So now it was, oh, that was the wrong button to hit. Get ready for that fan to spin up, because okay. Oh yeah, so I need O. So if you can't see this, so I hit O, and it's just automatically going to OBS. Which I do not want. Outlook is the next thing, which is why Outlook fired up a minute ago. But really, what we really want is O to go to Oxygen. So after doing it a couple times, now O goes to oxygen. I'm gonna do it one more time. O, oxygen. So now when I go, so I can do command space I gets me to my terminal. Command space O gets me to oxygen. And like command space SA, instead of just S, I'll do SA just because there's Safari, right? So that's where you hear me bouncing around. That's how I move between applications. Anyways, now what we've got is hopefully we see a failure. Nope, broke something. Unicode must be encoded before hashing. I can't figure out if I want to mess with this right now. I do kind of want to see something, so validators. Unicode. Oh, I should check and see what line that's on. So I've also got Vim set up so I can run Python directly from inside of it. So if this is me just running it directly, and because all these things had full paths, it runs and it's giving me the right thing. So JSON validator line 57, 41. All right, we're gonna do this just in case this is what it is. No, well, it's not 41. Okay. That was called from 57. Whoops. Yeah, it was called from line 57, run test. Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha. 57 was run tests, but the actual stack broke at here. So it's usually the last line that you want to look at, or possibly the line before, and line being 2 lines in this case. Unicode objects must be encoded before hashing. We are gonna Google that. Oh, actually, because the other one had binary, quote, I'm gonna put this in a format. Crap. This is where I don't notice about Python. Let's see if that just works. Okay, there we go. So I just have to get the date as a string inside there. Python make string binary. Make string variable binary. And p prefix to Python variable. That's exactly what I want to do. I love Stack Overflow. Only an example, you can choose different encoding. Oh, okay, you can just do bytes. Byte loader, B or B, they produce an instance of byte type instead of string type. ASCII characters. Okay, so let's just do this. At time. Crap. Oh, missing a friend. Ah. String argument without encoding. Okay, so now we got to give it encoding, right? Boom. So now what's going to happen is every time the script runs, assuming it's more than 1 second apart between runs, the time changes and the time feeds this hash, and so that hash number is going to change. So it was 6E something there, and now it's going to be CEC, and now it's going to be 97D. So that'll just make it a big visual change for me so I can make sure that the thing actually changed. So if I've got a failure state and hit fail, I want to make sure that it, like, I see something change in case it still says failure. Okay, so this lets me know that it really did a thing. Just showing the time isn't quite enough. In fact, what I'm going to do is back out of the time. So the other thing I'm going to do is set no numbers because I want to copy this. Of a string. And basically what I'm going to do some string equals this is the quick brown fox, because then what we should be able to do, I'm going to throw this into Code Runner 2 in a second. And this is how I just like grab, this is how I do snippets. This is where I come up with snippets of the code that I want to be able to use. So this, and so the, file, yeah, SHA-256. Oh, so this is different. Hasher, hashload 256, read. Yeah, so this is totally different. But that's fine. So where am I going? So that did that. And then we want to do this. Hashed string equals that. Some people do their examples with the like the command line thing. I don't like that. I do stuff in files, so I want stuff that I can copy and do it from a file. And it was hashload. Oops. Well, really what we should be doing right now is we're gonna throw this into Code Runner. Make a new tab. User bin environment Python. I just do that to make sure it's working. There you go. Import hashlib. Let's see if this works. Boom. There you go. Also, yeah, SHA-256 is a bigger password. Hash a string. So now I've got this code snippet whenever I need to like get a string and turn it into a hash. So cool. And I've got it both as Code Runner and then in this particular code here, which is import hashlib. All right. So again, this is all just prep work, right? Ooh, what did I change? All right. Fire up the validator again. Now I'm going to make one more change here, which is still going to break. I just want to see it fail. There you go. Fails one error with that hash string. And now one more failure. And again, you can see the number jump here. So that lets me know, because it still says failed errors 1. But I want to see that the hash changed so that I know that something really did change. Or when it changes. Because sometimes it can take a second. Ooh, rent isn't defined. Uh-oh. No. That is because I mistyped something. we'll see that. I'm just gonna get to it from here. Go up a directory, validators, JSON validator. I really should have looked at what, oh, there it is. And that again. You get a pass? Passed, cool. Well, that was a lot of stuff, but made us get there better. And now we're really well set up for moving faster now. This is like one of those things. It's a bunch of prep work to get, not having to jump every time I want to change a schema, or every time I change a schema and then manually going over to some other place and then running it and then waiting for, and then seeing the output and then switching back is like, even though it only takes a couple seconds, like this is the thing, like that takes no time. I hit save and then I just look at the output and then I'd make more changes. I never leave the app that I'm in. I can just switch back and forth between either the schema or the JSON as necessary, and I continue working in there until I've got it green, then jump to the other one or back and forth or whatever. So I'll actually post about that. So post. Whoops. Which is not yeah. There you go. Ooh, is that gonna work? 2019. This is where I keep posts. This is one of the places I keep posts. Except most of them aren't here anymore. They've been moved. 07, 03. Python. Schema validator test watcher. Oh, the other thing I should do is, I think I still got some blind text open here, don't I? Yeah, so validators, JSON validator. That was actually it. I'm going to put this in Code Runner because we made some changes to it. So that. Also, we're going to do it here. And then we're going to do this, Python, JSON. Oh. Oh, that was my first thing. There we go. I do want to rename this because I want the JSON dash in there, because that's how when I look up stuff, I do JSON dash. Man, I wonder if I should put that. Yeah, I probably should. Get this. This file. So we'll clean up the grimoire here, and what I'm going to do is actually rename this. Yes, that's fine. We just killed that one. We're going to hit a space in front of that, which raises that to the top. That way, because that's the main one that I want to see when I do JSON schema. So now, basically what that is like if I do JSON dash, and then it's the first thing there. That's what I want, is the schema validator. Cool. All right, that's a lot of prep work. Hooray. So, what's our JSON actually look like right now? More fireworks. From hub ID, tags. All right, save this. Where's our validator? What was this tab? Oh, that's it. That's okay. I'll jump out of that. Nope. JSON schemas. If I save that, it should be okay. Okay. Cool. Trying to figure out if I want to do more tonight or not. Because that was all prep work and we're ready to go. But do I want to get into other work? I kind of don't. Because that took some amount of energy to do. So what I am going to do is go kick up and check the README. Actually, I'm going to throw that to Sublime Text because it has. Man, Sublime Text is freaking out. There's supposed to be. I should be able to kill this. So I just recently moved to. Oh, I wonder if there's a new version of Sublime Text. I bet there is. Nope. Weird. Sublime Text has been acting a little weird ever since I upgraded to Mojave. Don't look at this. Yeah, so yeah, it's supposed to be arrows here to click to make it go away, and they're not there. Weird. Okay, whatever. Validation. Oh, yeah, the other thing I'm going to need to do is right now the validator is hard-coded for those particular paths. I'll have to set up a way to actually, yeah, I guess with Watchdog, I should be able to pass the paths here to the JSON to say what's changed. I'll have to figure that out. Or I could just hard-code it to whichever ones I'm working on. Either way. Cool. That'll just give you some notes about what's going on there. Whoops. Git status. I just did that. git add dot add hash output. There you go. Cool. Okay, that'll do it for tonight. Didn't actually make any changes or progress on the schemas themselves, but that setup for that that automatic watcher is going to be hugely beneficial or pay off hugely. Even by the way, if the amount of time that I save is less than the hour and a quarter that it took me, which it won't be, but even if that was the case, just being able to stay in the flow of working in the editor and just on the JSON file or just on the schema and then automatically seeing the results as soon as I hit save, that will keep me in the flow more than having to jump out, hit control, wait for the thing, or like fire it off, then wait for the results and then jump back. Like eliminating all those steps and then just having like just hitting save, especially because Oxygen, which I'm working in, the Oxygen editor, doesn't automatically save when I go over. So I'd have to hit so like Sublime Text, when you leave the application, you can set it up to automatically save the file once you leave. I don't see how to do that in Oxygen. So with Oxygen, I have to hit save. I would then have to switch applications. I would then have to hit some command in order to run it. Then look at the command, or look at the output, which looking at output's a wash. But then move back into Oxygen. Versus now, if I just hit save, the output shows up and I start typing again. Like eliminating all those steps is huge, especially for staying in the flow of things. Like most of the time you can get back and forth on it, but just eliminating those little steps is totally worth it. And also now I've got that script for any other time that I do JSONs, right? So I had a Ruby version of it, but I work in Python now. So or I'm working in Python now. So now I've got a Python version of that, and I can post that too, so other people can actually use it. Like, and by the way, there's probably somebody out there who's already done this, but that's okay. This is the one that I did, so there you go. Anyways, so I think that's gonna do it for now. Y'all have a good one, and we will see you all soon. Be kind to each other. Happy 4th of July if you're in the United States, and happy 4th of July even if you aren't, because you can still have a happy 4th of July, I guess. Anyways, see y'all. Thanks for watching, and